I'm Jennifer Kent, Vice President of Research with Parks Associates, and I'm so pleased to be joined today by Brett Juergens, who's the CEO of Notion. Brett, hi, thanks for taking the time today to chat.
Hey, Jennifer, good to see you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Notion and what it is that you do and your role in the smart home market?
Yeah, so started Notion about 6.5 years ago, and really the premise was to bring DIY monitoring to really any kind of property, really easy to install, lots and lots of data being collected from every device, so more, kind of effective, efficient system, less expensive, and uniquely positioned within the insurance space to help insurance companies with monitoring, data and analytics, and those kinds of things. So we exclusively partner with a number of insurance companies in the US, both on home and small business. And we also sell Notion on our website. But the vast majority of our business is done with insurance companies. Our sensors today monitor things like temperature, water, smoke alarms going off, and any kind of door that opens and closes, garage doors, liquor cabinets, front doors, back doors, all those kinds of things. So pretty comprehensive system. And then, as I mentioned, data and analytics products for our insurance partners.
Yeah, that's so great. So I think that folks in the smart home industry have really been looking at the insurance space as a pretty natural type of partnership and an interesting channel to explore into. And really, this is your sweet spot. I'd love to hear a little bit more about what the insurers are looking for out of your partnership. Are there certain use cases or sensors, that they're really interested in, and how these rollouts are going, what you're learning from these partnerships?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that's interesting about how we work with insurance companies is that we definitely focus on risk reduction, right? And that's kind of the automatic place where everybody's minds go. We're able to monitor things like a water leak, and we're able to reduce losses for an insurance company and hopefully save a homeowner, for example, from a big loss from a water leak. But a lot of our insurance partners are actually using Notion, for a whole lot more than that, and it really starts kind of at the front end. We are partnering with many insurance companies to dramatically improve their customer acquisition cost. Um, we allow for differentiation up front. Most insurers in the US today have smart home and/or professionally monitored kind of home security discounts that they're able to apply at the time of purchase. And so, as a member of one of the insurance companies that we partner with, typically when you're buying their insurance policy for the first time, you get Notion for free and you get a discount on your policy. So when you think about insurance, a lot of people do shop on price. A lot of people see it as a bit of a commodity. And we really help differentiate both in terms of offering and on price up front. And then the second is really around engagement. Another time that we enter into the picture in terms of your relationship with your insurance company is at time of claim. So let's say you have a leak, you are working through trying to get money from your insurance company, which can be sometimes kind of a painful process. We are able to come in through our partnerships and say, look, we are going to give you a Notion kit, so this doesn't happen, or if this were to happen again, it's not so bad. Thank you for being a valued customer of ours as the insurance partner. And so there's some really interesting kind of entry points, and there's a fourth beyond um, you know acquisition, engagement, retention, and loss reduction, which really is about data. And the new insurance products, the customizable insurance products that can be created with a lot of the data that we collect and the analyses that we do with and for our partners going forward. There's going to be a lot of interesting things similar to what you've seen in the auto telematics space about kind of individualized insurance, specific insurance for your home, for the way maybe you use your home, for the devices that you either have or don't have in your home. All those things are possible today, really just scratching the surface, but it's really a much more kind of full program than people think about when they first think about, IoT plus insurance.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I know that Notion was acquired a few years back from Comcast, so you've seen this smart home sort of evolution of the market from a standalone company, and then also from perhaps from the service provider point of view. How has that really colored how you've seen this market evolve?
Yeah, so our acquisition happened about a year and a half ago, and it was by Comcast. So, Fortune 50 company, about 30 million customers in the United States. And their main kind of core business is really connectivity into the home through internet, and they obviously have ancillary services in addition to that. But I think one of the big things that we're starting to see with kind of connect and protect sort of themes is, once you've got that connection into the home, what else can you do with it? Can you connect people and then protect them from things like what Notion does? Can you also protect them in ways around, like, say, families being protected on the internet, right? So Comcast recently came out with some products related to that kind of as a theme, and so I think they just fit really well together. I think the other piece that is starting to get interesting is really just DIY altogether, how simple things have become, how much adoption there has been from some of the leaders in the space, and I think it's just a natural extension, of what Comcast wants to do. And for us, it's an incredible growth opportunity. We could have, remained an independent company. We were venture backed, and so we could have continued down that path. We saw a really unique opportunity, filling some gaps and creating some opportunities with Comcast to really grow our footprint and hopefully grow the impact that we have. Our mission at Notion is really about reducing risk so much that at some point, we really become a requirement for insurance, almost like a seatbelt in a car. You don't have cars made today without seatbelts for good reason. We don't believe there should be properties that aren't monitored, that aren't protected in this way. And I think that message really resonates with kind of where Comcast is going thematically with some of the things that they're doing too.
Yeah, I love that phrase, connect and protect. It really also speaks to sort of this moment, the fact that connectivity is a necessity for everybody operating and working virtually and learning virtually and everything in this world right now. And then kind of that peace of mind that people are searching for amid some uncertain times, right? And so the ability to provide more protection across your life, whether that's parental controls, data security, premise security, insurance risk, right? Those sort of value propositions all fit together. So where do you see the smart home market evolving from here? What do you think's ahead in our future as we kind of look into 2022 even?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things that come to mind. And one of the things, frankly, the reasons that we're in such a difficult position right now with kind of supply chain globally really has to do with the fact that there has been an incredible amount of additional kind of electronics adoption, and people kind of hanging out at home, improving their homes, wanting to have more toys and gadgets in some cases at home. And so I think the focus of kind of a connected home is really changing because we're at home so much more. So how do families engage? How do they interact? How does entertainment happen in new and different ways? How does bandwidth need, I should say, the need for more bandwidth to change over time? And I think that combined with a lot of things going on in energy, I think is going to be a huge theme going forward. There are companies that are monitoring how we use energy. There are companies that are starting to be able to better understand potentially how to replace certain things in your home that can provide you with a more energy efficient home. And so I think that just the nature of being home so much and being aware of the home and how you use it, how you engage with it, and how your family engages with it going forward on the energy side. And then again, kind of on, I'll call it just broadly entertainment, but also just kind of connectivity and what that can provide. I think those are probably, in my mind at least, the two big themes going forward as we're home more. So I think those are big. And then maybe I'll throw in a third, which is how do we take some of the cybersecurity aspects that were done traditionally in offices, maybe in some ways a more secure way into the home, where home networks, home sort of cybersecurity has never really been beefed up, if you will, for a lot of kind of the business use cases that we've seen in office buildings. How does that start to transfer as we have more remote workforces? So I think for me, those are kind of the three big themes that I think a lot about, and that we'll be focusing on some of those going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of evolution to come and a lot of opportunity ahead of us. So Brett, thank you so much for joining me today. Great to have your insights, and I look forward to discussing again in the future.
Thanks, Jennifer. Great seeing you.